Hi, my name is Chris Campbell, and we welcome you to another episode of One-on-One, where our guest for today's installment is Soutfield Fire Chief Johnny Menifee. Welcome to the show, Chief Menifee.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, Chris. I'm happy to be here.
Now, we're going to lead with this. You recently celebrated a special milestone with the city. You have been with the city of Soutfield for 26 years. Unpack your feelings at reaching such a high watermark in your career here.
Wow, I guess first off, it's happened so fast. 26 years, I started as a cadet back in '93, worked my way up to firefighter and up through the ranks of, lieutenant, training captain, shift captain, acting battalion chief for a minute, and then the fire chief. So it's been amazing work. It's a career of service, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. There hasn't been a day where I didn't enjoy coming to work. So I can't believe it's been 26 years, so it's pretty remarkable when I look back and what I've got accomplished and how well the department's doing. So I'm quite honored.
Well, they say time flies when you're having fun. So I think you've been having fun 26 years as well with your career.
Oh yeah, quite definitely. I've been having a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Now, when we discuss the fire service, there are many that may not quite know what that encompasses. Many people just think you're just going out and fighting fires, but it involves more than that. Describe the full range of services that the fire department offers to the community.
Oh, well, definitely, Chris. As well as we do fire protection as well as fire education. The EMS is a huge component of the fire service, from everything from our ALS procedures for advanced life support to just helping a person and making them feel reassured of what things go on, as well as vehicle extrications. If there's an accident, we have hazardous materials sometimes we have to deal with, and fires with that. We also have our technical rescue branch of the department, where we're in trench rescue, structural collapse, rope rescue, as I said, confined space. But also if a person just doesn't know who to call, and if they have an emergency or they have questions, normally they call the fire department, and we're more than happy to help. I like to say, we're fire department, but we're in the service business. We're about delivering the service that our residents, our business partners, and our visitors may come encounter with when they're in the city of Soutfield. So we're just here to help.
Now, the global pandemic has altered so many things. How has that impacted the fire service?
Wow, I don't know how long we have today, but it totally has changed how we had to operate with dealing with COVID-19. So we started preparing for COVID-19, this pandemic, back in January. We started meeting with our elected officials. We met with our city administrator, our deputy administrator, the police chief, our emergency manager, and myself, and we started talking about what were the possibilities of things that may come up in dealing with this pandemic, as well as the department putting things in place early to try to keep everyone safe and be able to maneuver if things were to get worse. We did know it wasn't about if, it was more of when. And we were just prepared to wait for the when, and then we had to put our policies and procedures in place and try to execute that. But it has totally changed the fire department and how we operate. We went into an emergency response procedures in dealing with the pandemic. We had to stay, I like to say, like liquid, like water. We had to be able to change on the spot. There was a day where our protocols and procedures coming down from the county and the state, they changed 4 times in one day. So we actually had to call the crews on the road and tell them about the new policy that has just been put in place. So it is definitely been high on communication, safety, deconning, and just dealing with the emotional mental health of the firefighters and their families. So we definitely got our feel of the pandemic. We were pretty much ground zero for the state. We had more cases in the state per capita than City of Detroit did.
Wow, amazing. Now, training has been a heavy focus of the priorities for the department. Talk about some of the training that the fire service personnel receive.
Well, I have to give the city credit. I was able to almost triple our training budget when I came in as the fire chief. So COVID-19 has put a strain on actually the training that we're doing now, because a lot of things have to be remote, it's limited on the amount of firefighters that we can have. And then with just the call volume of the calls that were going on, it's made it very difficult. But we've come up with some unique ways of using our technology, of recording training, doing video conferencing, and trying to social distance and still have the trainings. But as far as we have monthly training for our paramedics and our basic EMTs, they have to maintain their certification. So we have a classroom portion and we have a practical portion that's happening, as well as maintain all our specialty teams. This is the season where you have the trench rescues or the collapses that happen, and the window washers are up there, and if they have a problem, we have to go rescue them, as well as trying to do basic firefighter training. We've hired over 30 firefighters in the last 2 years. They are young. We have to go back to the basics, and that's really what we've been trying to concentrate on: basic firefighting, forcible entry, hose deployment. We had to search and rescue, and just about learning how to work with one another, how the tools work, what each person is going to do. I believe I'm a very linear person, and I believe in algorithms. I like you to know what's expected of you, what's your job, how you're supposed to execute it. Now, one of the command officers can always throw a different plan up there. He can call a different play at the line of scrimmage, we want to say, and do something different. But at least they know going in, and I think that's the point, that the training and the communication has helped us while we're young and we're growing and learning together. I think that's helped to keep the firefighters safe.
Now, equipment and technology upgrades play a major role in really empowering your division to offer those high quality services to the community, but also those quick response times. Walk us through some of the technology upgrades that you've received in recent times.
Well, I guess we have to start, and I have to thank the city again. I want to thank the city for investing in the fire department, giving us the tools that we need to help keep you safe, with putting 10 new fire pieces of apparatus in service. And those are front line. We have a brand new ladder truck. It's a 100-foot single axle ladder truck, state of the art. I've nicknamed her Charlene. She's the queen of our fleet. We also put 4 new fire engines in service, and they all have a new color scheme. We went with a dark gray, a deeper, richer red color, and instead of going with gold leaf, we went with triple silver leaf. This was all done intentionally for branding about the fire department and separating ourselves from others in the fire service, as well as putting 5 new EMS trucks. We call them life trucks. Some other people call them rescues, but we have 5. I mean, this is the first time. We've only had 4 for the past, since 1972. We've had 4 life trucks. So we were able to up that and put a 5th life truck in service, and it is totally state of the art. It has its own UV lights inside to help destroy viruses, as well as having air scrubbers in the back. State-of-the-art cameras with the latest technology. We have cameras that we can help if you're having breathing problems and we have to intubate you. We have cameras now that we can watch and we can help. It helps us to deliver that type of service better. We have our new Lucas devices, which do perfect CPR every time, even if you're upside down. They deliver that, so you don't have to worry about a firefighter getting fatigued or not doing compressions too soft or too deep. This does perfect CPR every time with the trucks. And we have our new computer system that is up. That before we were writing on a piece of paper, going over looking at the address we'd look at the map, look at the address, we'd pull a map of the apartment complex, then we'd have to get dressed, and then we would hop on the trucks and go. Now, everything is downloaded into the trucks, the computer's in the trucks, it's downloading it, it's mapping it out, it shows the firefighters where the nearest hydrant is, it gives us information. And what's best for me is I don't have to call to see what they're doing. I have access to every call, the time that, because the most frequent call I receive as a fire chief is it took your firefighters 20 minutes or 30 minutes to get there. And actually we have a 4-minute response time as average, which the average response time across the nation is 7 minutes. So we're way below that, but I'm able to give residents, visitors, and our business partners actual data right now of actually a call that they're calling about. And I can tell them, nope, that is not true. We had a crew there in 3 minutes, 4 minutes, or 5 minutes. This is what happened. This is what trucks were there. So I'm able to see all that information. That's allowed us to actually look into the statistics and grow. And as part of my 3 and 5 year plan, I can look at that, and we can look at a lot of different trends. And if we need to move the lines a little bit about the sharing areas, and it's not about that the lines are equal. I look at it as more about who can deliver the best service the quickest. And that's where it comes into, because it's really truly all about the safety.
Now, talk about the important role that City Council and municipal leadership play in making sure that the fire service has everything that they need. We know that it's been a collaborative approach and they've been very supportive. Talk about how that's impacted you and the fire service.
Oh, I mean, hands down, I guess without the support of the elected officials and the city administration, is definitely something you need to be to make things happen in the fire service. So we've been blessed. I am happy that the council has a lot of respect and faith in me to run the department. They have provided us with the best equipment. I mean, we've bought ballistic vests for the firefighters and helmets. We've all these new trucks, all this new equipment to help serve the citizens. Council, your city officials have been nothing but supportive of the fire department and our needs and about what we did. And also, we not only replaced 10 pieces of apparatus, but we also bought utility trucks. We bought pickup trucks to pull our trailer for confined space. We bought a new command vehicle. We bought a new safety officer's vehicle. We bought a new EMS vehicles in case someone has to go out and start doing preventive care for individuals, or if someone just has a question. So the city has really invested in this city. They've really put the money behind what they're saying about how they feel about the fire department and what type of service that they want for the city. So I couldn't be prouder and more thankful from city council. I mean, the council president, Dr. Cruz, everybody on the council, and the mayor have been over backwards to make sure the fire department has everything they need to get the job done. And I'm so thankful for the citizens, and they're definitely using the tax money wisely and putting it back into the city.
Excellent, excellent. Now let's talk about public safety, because as leaders of the city's public safety efforts, you and Police Chief Barron are often collaborative partners. Describe the synergy between you two.
Well, when I first met Chief Barron, I liked him right away as a person. He's been, so I would say personally and professionally, it's pretty much been the same. I would say we talk at least 3 times a week, if not more. Probably every other day if we don't talk every day. But really going through the things that are happening now with the pandemic, with the social issues that we're dealing with in our country, we collaborate a lot on the public safety for the city of Soutfield and the surrounding areas. I guess I couldn't ask for a better partner. I think we see things a lot alike. With it, we believe in being out there in the public, not sitting behind our desks. I don't want to just sit behind there. So there's quite a bit behind the scenes that go into the leadership with public safety and dealing with Justin Beck, our emergency manager also. We do quite a bit of phone conversations and in-person meetings to make sure that we're delivering the best possible service we can, and that we're staying up on the best practices and the latest trends that are going on. We help each other quite a bit.
Now, this year has brought a major focus to various racial and social issues as they relate to cultural inequalities through various peaceful demonstrations that have been happening here in the city and really across the country. Now, you and Chief Barron have been present as both public safety leadership, but also as participants. Unpack how important that has been for you to support and participate in this level of community advocacy.
Well, I think it's greatly needed. I mean, on a personal and a professional level. I mean, it's just helped me myself personally and professionally, but also that the citizens and the visitors and actually our youth can see us, can interact with us and ask us questions about what's going on in our cities and how we plan to react with what's going on in the cities. I know me and Chief Barron have talked long, a lot of hours about the process and how we will deal with things and how we will help keep this city safe. But I think the key is communication. You have to let individuals know. You can't just assume that they know what's going on or what the department is feeling and what the department is capable of doing. One of the biggest things I did, I mean, this was as a man, it was hard to view. It was shocking. It's still painful to watch the Floyd video. It is very painful. But with anything, I wanted to make sure that how am I going to be better? How is the department going to be better? How are we going to make this better for the city? And what I did is I went back and looked at our policies and our procedures. I looked at nationally and how the fire departments were interacting and the things that were happening. I mean, there were things on fire and people weren't letting them put them out. They were at times attacking firefighters and having to deal with taking care of hurt victims that are out in protests that get out of hand, and how we're going to operate and how we're going to treat our residents and business partners and the visitors that come here in Soutfield. So I made sure our core values were in line. Made sure I had a meeting with each unit on the fire department, and it talked about how we're going to treat people and how we're going to embrace diversity. We're going to use that as a means of learning. This is going to be a training opportunity that we value the differences in people and we want to learn from one another, so we welcome that. But as well, to make sure that my SOPs, as far as my procedures, are up to snuff. Making sure that it doesn't say, make sure that you don't turn a fire hose on a person. Just to make sure that those lines are in our procedures. And so they operate. That we want to be a helper. We don't judge. But I have a saying in the fire department, and I think if more people were to take on what I'm about to say, I think it'll make us a better place. I expect each and every one of my firefighters to treat everyone like my mother, my father, my sister, brother, or one of my kids, and know that they have to answer to me if they mistreat them. So as long as you understand that and you're able to do that, that is how we focus and how we try to deliver the service. You would never pass your mother or a loved one in a car that has a flat tire or they're stranded. You help them. It's about the service. It's not just about the fire department. It's about delivering the service and wanting people to know that when they come to Soutfield, it's like, we care, and it truly is. We're the center of it all when it truly happens, and that's the focus it's been. But I think it's very important that I don't have anyone else deliver my message. That I tell them firsthand what I expect from them, how we're going to deliver this, and get through this together.
Yes, outstanding. Now, speaking of outstanding, let's talk about your staff and their level of professionalism in maintaining that Soutfield standard in service delivery to the community. Give some kudos to your staff.
Oh, wow. Hands down. You hate to say that we're the best in the world and the country, but I truly feel that way. What we've been going through with this pandemic, and now it just has never stopped. Now we're into the social injustice right now. So, it just keeps going. But my fire department, your fire department has stepped up. They handle the call. Any and every time that the tone goes off, no matter what it is, they go out quickly, professionally, and they solve the problem. I can't ask for a better team. There is so many in the department. We have 96 men and women in the department now, and they're just delivering the service day in and day out. And you got to say it with, our daytime population is about 175,000 in the daytime. Nighttime we're in the mid 70,000s, and with Lathrop Village. And we got to dealing with the pandemic. We were dealing with just the nighttime population, and our run volume doubled. We had 52% at one time of calls that were going out that were possibly COVID related. And our team didn't miss a beat. They were on the trucks with the same urgency, with the same professionalism, and delivered what I consider wow service. That's the standard that we strive for. We look at, and our vision is to be the best in our region. We want others to look at us and go, you know what? I would fight fire with the Soutfield Fire Department. I would do EMS, I do medicals with them. I would do technical rescue with them. And they are professional, they're well-trained, and they're safe. So hands down, I am the chief, but there is no doubt my command staff and every men and women on the fire department has definitely stepped up in this, especially the first 6 months of this year. And hands down, our next award ceremony will be long, but it will be much deserved when we get a chance to get back together on that. But thank you for all the men and women of the Soutfield Fire Department.
Now let's take a look at the man behind the uniform. You're a husband and a father. So describe that work-life balance and what it's like to be married to one of the area's most popular television journalists, Miss Paula Tutman,
Wow.
Menifee.
Wow. It's funny. I was having a conversation with my neighbor just recently like that, and it was like, who wants to be in a house right now with a journalist and a fire chief? That's probably not the thing you want to be under COVID. But, first and foremost, I want to thank my family. They've been so supportive. My wife is my best friend. We talk, so much about what's going on, and it's hard to turn off now. You just don't have a time where you can turn off. But I'm very blessed to have a great family. I have 3 wonderful daughters. My youngest is a senior this year, in the Soutfield school system, and we don't know what it's going to entail. We don't know what's going to happen. But with family and togetherness and the love, it's truly made things easier. So it's quite a unique situation at times, but I am a very blessed man. I am truly honored for all the blessings I've received in my personal life with my family.
Absolutely. Now, what's one of the biggest takeaways that you'd like viewers to glean from the fire department or the fire service here?
That we're here to help. We're here to help you in the time of need. The fire department there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes to help you if there was an emergency. I mean, we do a lot of pre-planning. We do a lot of risk assessments and what's going on. But I want you to know the fire department is there. My personal mantra has always been is that I call it the C method. It's about service. It's about serve. It's about elevating. It's about educating. And the department's here for you. We're constantly evolving. We're constantly looking at the latest trends, the best practices, and things to do. But we're constantly training behind the scenes. So if you have an emergency, that we're delivering the best possible service we can for you, and that we care. We care about our residents here. We care about the youth. We care about our elderly population. We are here as part of the community. One of the things I pride myself on is that how much community service that we're doing and that we're out there. One of the things I mentioned that in the fire service, this is a great career. We do not have enough firefighters coming through the pipeline, and this is just not in Soutfield. This is across the country to replace the firefighters that are retiring. If you like doing something different every day, you like to be challenged, you enjoy being part of a team, you should look at the fire service, look at the fire departments. I'm not hard to find. I will be happy to talk to you if you want to get into the fire service and the things you need to start becoming a firefighter. But there's no greater joy than serving others and the joy it makes you feel. There's no money, there's nothing anyone can give you that can make you feel that warmth and that need and about helping another person. It just makes you feel good. And this is a job that they'll pay you well. You'll have great training. You have great equipment. You get to work for a great city. You get to work with great individuals here. It is definitely something that I think people should take a look at, because the fire service is hurting, and we definitely could use some more good people with good core values to become part of our team.
And last question, briefly take a jump into the future, about 2 or 3 years or so. Where do you see the fire department, the fire service here in Soutfield?
Well, one of the biggest things is what I see. I mean, I have a 3 and 5 year plan with the fire department. We are young. We are very young right now as a fire department. We've been around for over 75 years, but every command position has been changed from 2015 to 2022. So we're going to be young in the command roles. We're hiring a lot of new firefighters. We will have 47% of the firefighters will have under 5 years of service in the next 3 years. So we're going to be training, we're going to be really educating the firefighters, and that's going to be our big focus as we get back to some type of normal. As we move through the next couple years is what I see. We're going to be promoting a lot of new officers, like I said, hiring a lot of new firefighters. So we're going to lose a lot of experience. So to kind of counter that experience, we have to educate and train them. They're not going to have that feeling in their gut when they're like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't be in this fire, or maybe I should do this on a medical, or maybe I should stand over here. They're not going to have that experience. So we're going to do everything we can to give them the tools to get the job done. But what we're going to do, and we had to delay it this year because of COVID, is we're starting our own fire academy in the Soutfield Public Schools. Now, this has been something that's been very dear to me in the fire service. The fire service is the female population in the fire service is only 3%. African American is 7%. Hispanic is 9%. would like to change those numbers. I want to get all walks of life. I think if you have a diverse team, you have a better team, and you have a team that's really able to dive in and serve your community. So what the Soutfield Fire Department is going to do with the help of the city and Soutfield Public Schools and with Dr. Green is we're going to start our own fire academy at the high school where we're going to teach our firefighters, firefighter 1 and 2, we're going to teach them basic EMT. So when they graduate, they will be employable to become right on the fire department, and they can make a contribution to it. And with this great city and all the advantages it has for its employees, the sky's the limit. So that's something I'm looking very forward to, and it's a good collaboration between the two. They're right next door with us and help train with us. But that's probably the biggest thing that I enjoy and like about this city is that everyone helps one another here. And and I know I can just say Dr. Green had some tough decisions to make about the school year and what she's faced with. We talk, and she's interested in the numbers and what's going on and the call volume. I really enjoy the collaboration between all the elected officials, all the appointed positions, all the department heads, and that they all work together to help one another in this city. And that's something that I'm not sure if that's in every city, but I truly enjoy having that with my phone, having that at my disposal. And so that's what you can look for from the fire department. But you can expect the same level of service, that wow service from the fire department. We're only getting better. I want everyone to keep an eye out for the new trucks and the new color schemes out there. We're, as you'll see on the bottom of it, we're committed to excellence on out there in the field, and stop and talk to your firefighters out there. They would love it, and I would love it. So just don't forget, if you're interested in becoming part of the fire department family, there's definitely room for you here. There's definitely stuff to do and help with the fire department, but it's a great job. It's a great part of the city, and I'm totally having a good time doing it.
All right, outstanding. Well, Chief, we thank you so much for having this conversation with us, and anytime you have any new news or new updates, that chair has your name on it. Thank you so much.
All right, well, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Now, you can view this episode of One-on-One on our YouTube and Facebook platforms by going to those platforms and visiting Soutfield Multimedia Services, as well as viewing this content on our channel, Channel 15. For One-on-One, my name is Chris Campbell, and we will see you next time.